This is TechCrunch. Well, no doubt you have heard of hybrid cars, but what about a hybrid cement or glass plant? Likely not, since nearly all of them today run on fossil fuels, but that might change soon. One startup has developed a way to incorporate electric heat into existing facilities, and like a hybrid car, it lets companies save money while also using fewer fossil fuels. Carlos Ceballos, co-founder and CEO of NOC Energy, told TechCrunch, "We hybridize industrial processes. Most companies are willing to electrify, but they don't want to get rid of fossil fuels yet. In the energy transition, they want to have the opportunity to choose the lowest cost." NOC has developed a form of electric heating that can bolt onto existing fossil fuel-fired facilities. Heat from its system can then be piped into a glass kiln or various parts of the cement production process. If the cost of electricity rises, the operator can switch it off of NOC's equipment and rely solely on fossil fuels. Perhaps more importantly, the startup can deliver heat at temperatures reaching 1,200 degrees centigrade. And Ceballos said the company is working toward 1,500 degrees centigrade. Those temperatures have been hard to achieve with anything other than fossil fuels or hydrogen, the latter of which is currently too expensive in its non-polluting form. The field doesn't have many entrants so far. Startup Battlefield alumnus Electrified Thermal Solutions stands out as one potential competitor. NOC recently raised a $2.7 million seed round, the company exclusively told TechCrunch. The round was led by 360 Capital with participation from SOSV and Desai VC. NOC's first customers will likely choose the hybrid format, though they won't have to if they don't want to. NOC's system can store heat for hours on end, allowing companies to use more electricity when the price is cheap, like when the wind is howling or the sun is beating down, and draw on the stored heat when the price spikes. There are a few elements to NOC's system that make both hybridization and electricity price arbitrage possible. The first is the induction heating element, which is similar in concept to induction stoves installed in kitchens around the world. Induction heaters use metal coils, usually made of copper, to produce magnetic fields when electricity courses through them. Those magnetic fields cause atoms in certain nearby metals, like steel, to vibrate quickly, generating heat. In NOC's system, the induction coils go to work on steel spheres that are packed inside large ceramic containers that are around 8 feet across. Wrapped around the containers are the heat-inducing copper coils and heat-conserving insulation. When heat is needed, electricity flows through the copper and warms the steel spheres. Air blown through the spheres extracts the heat and delivers it to where it's needed, like a glass kiln or a section of a cement plant. Now, NOC's approach is not the only way to make heat that hot using electricity. Resistive heaters, similar to those found in toasters, can get the job done, but the higher the heat, the shorter their lifespan. At 1,000 degrees centigrade, specialized resistance heaters only last around 12 months. At 1,200 degrees centigrade, that drops to 3 months. NOC's heating elements, the copper coils, sidestep that problem entirely because they never come into contact with the heat they generate. That's the beauty of induction heating. The coils are embedded in about 20 inches of insulation, staying at room temperature while casting their electromagnetic waves inward to the steel spheres. The insulation is thick enough that NOC's system can store heat for hours on end. The startup can size the system based on how long a customer wants to store the heat. For longer durations, NOC will stack more container modules on top of each other and pack them with more steel spheres. The startup has run a refrigerator-sized pilot-scale system for 15,000 hours so far and has built two much larger demonstration systems, one for a glass manufacturer and another for a cement producer, both in France. Those systems should be switched on in May. Ceballos said being hybrid allows them to de-risk the future. Given the geopolitical problems today, it is very attractive. Cristobal Valenzuela, the co-founder and CEO of AI video generation startup Runway, now valued at north of $5 billion, may not be winning over more hearts and minds in the anti-AI creative crowd with his recent comments about AI's potential in Hollywood. At Semaphore World Economy last week, the AI executive suggested that studios should take the $100 million they spend on a single film and put it toward 50 films in order to increase their output and their chances of getting a hit. He said, if you're spending $100 million on making one feature film, which is 90 minutes, imagine taking $100 million and spending it on like 50 movies. Same quality, same amount of output visually, but you make more content, way more content. So you have way better chances of hitting something. It's a quantity problem. That bumps up against the notion that a film represents a studio's investment in a piece of art, and that the movie business is one where studios win if they back the right creative team. With AI, Valenzuela is suggesting the whole industry can be boiled down to a numbers game, and if you produce enough content, you'll eventually succeed. In his interview, the founder acknowledged there has been controversy about bringing AI into a creative market like film and TV production, but stated that things are changing fast. He said he believes much of the early skepticism around AI came more from a place of fear and misunderstanding. But now most people understand what these powerful AI tools can do. The company has been developing its AI world models to help the creative class do more work better and faster. Runway works with a large number of studios and creators, and the technology is already helping to bring production costs down. This is already happening. Take, for example, the soon-to-arrive $70 million Bitcoin Killing Satoshi movie, which will be the first studio-quality AI feature film on the market. Its use of AI brought down production costs from an estimated $300 million. That's according to reporting from The Wrap. Amazon has also turned to AI to cut production costs for film and television, as have studios in India. Sony Pictures said it's planning to use the technology. Even James Cameron has come out in support of AI as a way to keep blockbuster movies in production without layoffs. Asked which side of the business is seeing costs decline because of AI, Valenzuela said, it's everywhere. It's in the pre-production side, it's in scripting, it's in planning, it's in execution, visual effects. This is already beginning to be deployed at scale. AI may make it easier to produce more content, but critics dispute the tech industry's belief that scaling creativity with AI will automatically result in more great art. But Runway believes this to be true. Valenzuela said, there's a crisis of creativity in the industry because of the economic incentives of how the content is made. He compared the production of video to something like books, where now, he said, there are some 25 million books produced yearly, more than anyone could read. Of course, you can't read 25 million books, but the world is in a much better place because there's more people who manage to tell a story or say something to the world. For what it's worth, Valenzuela's figure appears to be wrong. Data from UNESCO indicates that 2.2 million new titles are published every year. But he could be counting self-published ebooks and things like Wattpad stories, many of which are now also produced with AI and are often left out of traditional estimates. In any event, the idea is to flood the market with content, even if only some will become hits. That's what he hopes the movie industry will now do, thanks to AI. We have this internal saying at Runway, he said, that the best movies are yet to be made because we haven't heard from probably, the billions of people who haven't had access to this technology. That's all for now. For more stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.